The negative effects of science on society.
The world charged headlong into globalization and industrialization. The world's population over the next...
No. Globalization didn't happen until at least, that's a post-World War II phenomena. Globalization took place largely after international travel and commerce became cheap enough to do on a reliable, regular, and fast basis. Industrialization is what kicked off. Globalization took till, ages after. Maybe he means world trade? We've had world trade for millennia. Globalization, that is to say, cultural, social, and economic interconnectivity between nations all around the world as a seamless unit, that is a post-World War II thing. I think they're using globalization and imperialism interchangeably. Yes, I know, he's retarded. I'm just saying.
Next 350 years went up 10 times over. Humans mastered nature, and we went from a world where people barely made it through.
Mastered nature?
All great things in the world of men go to sin, and what are the costs of the scientific...
What? It's just so... Because it's like insane bullshit with no justification whatsoever. Yes, all good things go to sin. What the fuck does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's a guy... This guy's literally like a, homeschooled 22-year-old who tweets out like somebody whose entire thought process was constructed by, Hearts of Iron 4 games. He doesn't... Everything, it's like warrior philosopher pontification from somebody who thinks they have a collegiate level education because they've read War and Peace, or probably not War and Peace, maybe The Art of War? I don't know. At what point do we break out the crack pipe? Okay, we're dismantling science. I can't do all this, by the way. If you think we're making it through all of this, you're absolutely insane. What is this map? India is communist leaning? Egypt is communist leaning? What? Madagascar is communist leaning? What am I looking at? I can't go into this, man. What if alt-hist maps always deliver? Yep, they truly do deliver, like a Jackson Pollock painting, and about as sensical as one.
The author, Michael Stravens, he talks about the anti-curiosity of modern scientific culture, how scientists don't leave their discipline or think about broader matters. He uses quotes...
The reason scientists tend not to leave their discipline is because A, they're economically incentivized to stay within a very narrow research track, usually for the grants they need to fund their research or for the corporations funding them. And B, if they sort of branch outside of their field of expertise, they're no longer experts and are no longer that good at what they're trying to do.
I've said this a couple times before, but 100 years ago, the scientific consensus believed that races were discrete things with differing abilities, that the best way to manage an economy was with central planning.
Wait, Karl Marx wasn't an advocate of central... Wait. Hold on. Don't you... Okay, I'm not even getting into this. Okay, gender unicorn, what are we doing?
Another example of this is the gender spectrum, in which no scientist actually came out and made a scientific argument from anthropological or biological evidence for a gender spectrum. It was something invented by ex-communist writers.
Okay, here we're doing the Frankfurt School shit or whatever. Scientifically no evidence for a gender spectrum, which is interesting. Hold on, this is interesting. Man, he really isn't that bright, is he? This entire video is about how there are things that science can't measure, and there are social norms that our society is built on that science doesn't have a role in. And then he's saying that gender spectrums aren't real because there's no scientific evidence. He is doing the exact thing that all of the bugmen lab coats that he's railing against here, he claims to do. He's doing the exact same thing where he's like, well, actually, scientific evidence should have answers to literally every social problem. So, that is incredible. Genuinely astonishing.
In the middle of the 20th century with backgrounds in literature, but now we're designing social policy around something that a bunch of literature majors kind of made up.
See, he's doing it right now. He has literally stated science can't answer all questions. There's tons in our society that isn't scientifically rooted, and now he's getting upset that there is legal policy being dictated by something that doesn't have full scientific evidence behind it. The double think, literally, like nothing going on up here, like complete unawareness of what he's saying. It's incredible.
And this is the problem you see in science, where we act as if the things we have discovered with science are immutably true.
Does he realize? Does he realize that he's doing this? The gender spectrum can't be real because there's no scientific evidence. Anyway, the main problem with scientists is that they think scientific evidence can indicate everything we need to know about society.
What happened with science is that people saw the massive improvements that came with the scientific revolution, and without thinking more deeply, assumed science was magical and could fix everything. They assumed that the things they naturally assumed to be true were scientific. What ends up happening...
I don't understand what point is being made here. There are things that people believe to be true that was scientifically tested. I don't understand. I don't know what's happening. I want to see this guy talk to spirit science. That'd be good. That'd be a very good conversation. We need to lock them both in a room for 24 hours.
Scientists are told to explicitly put away any preconceptions and common sense filters while doing scientific experiments so to not create bias.
What?
But action in the real world is much more complicated.
What?
Look at modern art, which looks...
Yeah, so let's talk about modern art. I've been to a museum. All art made these days looks like this. On my other Twitter account, where I follow a bunch of furry porn artists, they all just paint this. And they're like, look, here's my fursona fucking. And it looks like these.
like this, but everyone knows it looks worse than this. However, starting from the principle that all subjective things are equal, which we put above our common sense...
Wait, hold on. How can he be making the argument that scientists are arrogant for believing science can solve subjective social questions, and then argue this is objectively superior to this? He's so stupid. He doesn't understand any of the claims he's making. He simultaneously wants to denounce scientists for being these, like, philosophy-addled bugmen who don't actually care about philosophy. And then, at the same time, he wants to adopt the purported objectivity of scientific critique when making his social statements. He is doing both. He is trying to do both at the same time. Why would you ever make a video where you're arguing that scientists don't have enough respect for the social fields, and then argue that your position on social issues is objectively superior? Oh my god.
From the principle that all subjective things are equal, which we put above our common sense, we say that they must be equal.
Who is saying all subjective things are equal?
Even though our common sense, gut instinct, and intuition would say otherwise. With common sense, you can immediately say NFTs are ridiculous, or that men and women have ingrained personality differences.
Yes, I'm sorry. So, he wants to challenge scientists on their arrogance, and then he's like, well, with common sense, you might notice, yes, ingrained personality differences. What the fuck does ingrained mean? Do you mean, like, socially ingrained? Like, socially, men and women, on average, have different personalities because of the ways they're raised? Sure! I don't know who questions that. What do we mean ingrained? Did he mean inherent? Inbrained? Do you think he meant to say inbrained? Maybe he meant to say a different stupid thing.
But since we have no appeal to common sense in our society...
If only everyone had the common sense of warrior poets like myself, we would understand that my positions on these social issues are objective, essentially scientifically provable. Now, let me go back to talking about these scientists who are always arguing that they have objectively reasons to... He literally had a section in this video where he argued that people with political biases will adopt the aesthetic of scientific critique to legitimize their biases. And now we're here. I can't... Oh my god! Remember when you said you wouldn't go over this video? I'm not doing Whatifalthist videos, okay? They don't mean anything. I feel like a reasonable human should be able to watch this video on their own and go like, oh wow, what a ridiculous idiot. But I can't trust, because we lack common sense in society. That's why.
We show very little interest in the world in general. Society doesn't think about space, history, nature, or other cultures.
What? He's doing the pick-me girl shit, except he's a guy and he's doing it as an academic. What? Like, I'm so special. Only I have developed an interest in space, nature. First of all, how the fuck do you think people would have had a determined interest in space in pre-modern history? What? They would have looked at the stars and developed constellations. That's all they could have done. Literally. They didn't have lenses. Nowadays, we can live watch NASA satellites and rockets take off. Millions of people. You go on YouTube and take a look at the views on any video, like BBC Nature documentaries, tens of millions of views. People are insanely interested in stuff all around the world. What is this shit?
Almost all of our cultural content is a masturbatory reflection of our own...
It's using a 4:3 image of The Simpsons as a reflection of modern culture. I guarantee you the reason he's using this is because his fucking dad would watch this shit when he would like wander by the living room. He would see this in the TV, and he's never engaged with modern culture since. Truly, genuinely, medically necessary that this man, I don't know, do MDMA and go to a nightclub or something. Stop linking his Twitter. Stop. I've seen the links. I see everything in chat. I see your name. I see your fucking IP address. I see your real life address. I see your current height. I see how full your bladder is. I know everything. Stop. Look at chat. You can see if the links have been posted. I know. I am in your walls. How does he not understand how stupid the shit he says is? It's difficult to even fully perceive how wrong he is, because it's like I genuinely do not think you could pay somebody to consciously make a video this wrong. I actually think that it has to be an emergent property of like a unique mind. It's kind of like how if you buy a sponge and you look at how it's got a bunch of holes in it, like you could never so intricately poke all those holes in like a little dense block of foam to match the sponge. The sponge is unique and almost perfect in its holy construction, very much like his brain, you know, full of holes. But you couldn't do it deliberately. You just have to rely on the sponge, and it's the nature of the sponge to have the most holes, you know? That's how I feel with this guy. I feel like I'm looking at a big sponge, and I'm looking at my like smooth block of clay, and I'm thinking like, how the fuck do I do that? I'm like fucking it up and shit, you know? I don't think I could be as dumb as this. Didn't you debate this guy? Not really. He showed up, and he was making the claim that there is absolutely no ideological link between the abolitionist movement, the civil rights movement, and the BLM movement. And when I called him on that, he basically just got increasingly upset. That was literally, it was like an hour of that. Then he invented an excuse to leave, and he ran away. That was it. I talked with him, and that was it. Yeah. There was like, you can't talk with him. In his head, he just has like a collection of insane incorrect points that he will die before admitting he's wrong. He's basically just like immune to evidence as a concept. Yeah, he faked a doctor's appointment to dodge. He was like, I suddenly have a dentist appointment or something. How many books? Oh yeah, I was like, I think there's an ideological link between the civil rights movement and Black Lives Matter. And he was like, how many books on that have you you're going to have to name 15 books on the link between those two movements before I'm willing to talk with you. Yeah.
Whatifalthist, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video, please like, comment,
I didn't! Well, that was worse than I thought it would be. I swear to God, he's getting worse. One of these days, I'm going to tell my grandkids this used to be an actual alternate history channel. No history was talked about here! That video exhausted me. Okay, Whatifalthist and Jews. Holy shit! I should ban all of you. Do you know how many times this has been linked? I know. I've showed it on stream before. I've shown this on stream before. Yes. He was doing the JQ shit. I know. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the 87th reminder. Now that we're done with the segment. Whatifalthist in the Fall of China. If anyone posts a Whatifalth history in chat, again, I'm banning them.